Good morning. Welcome to your Friday morning, early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, America's kick-ass coach and psychologist, here with some words of wisdom for us today. I think it's going to be a wonderful day. Diane and I are going to the Green Bay Botanical Garden this evening for a concert, and I think that's going to be really fun. So we'll see how today turns out. I hope you have a lovely day also. Our card for today, we saw this a while ago, but to begin with, what I'd like you to do is start by thinking about a situation in your life, something over which you're puzzling, uncertain, maybe thinking about which direction you ought to go. Good morning, Deb. Welcome, welcome. So just think about a situation in your life, a circumstance that you go, that's what we're going to apply the card to today. So our deck is the Ascended Masters deck. We've had that one recently. And good morning, Becky. Glad you are here. We're starting by thinking about a situation in our life that makes us go, where we have questions or doubts or uncertainties or whatever. And that's what we're going to apply this card reading to today. So the card is, you are seeing this situation accurately. And the Ascended Master is Horus. And the symbol, if you look right in the middle there, you'll see an eyeball. That's the symbol that kind of goes along with Horus. So let's see what it has to tell us. A couple of nice deep breaths just to settle in. Good morning, Joe. And I see that someone else has popped on. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, Carolyn. Now everybody's starting to roll in. Just settling into right here, right now. Open, receptive to this message, seeing how it fits for you today. And it may be an unfolding how it fits, right? Sometimes we don't always know as things are unfolding exactly how it's going to fit, but later we can look back and go, oh yeah, that makes sense. So you are seeing this situation accurately. Trust your feelings about this situation because they are accurate and valid. Let go of self-doubt even in the face of others' opinions. So one of the things that I said last night on the meditation that I did was that our mind was meant to be in service of our heart, our soul, our intuition. That was meant to take the lead. Intuition, soul, heart, lead from that. Mind is meant to be the faithful servant of all of that. Okay? And we kind of got it backwards. We sort of threw out the intuition and all of that as woo-woo, hocus-pocus, whatever, and put way too much emphasis on the mind, all right? They need to be working in concert here. Your spiritual sensitivity has helped you see the truth. Although it may be easier to go along with the crowd or to shrink into apathy, you're called upon to take decisive action. And right now you might be in a little bit of a pause, a reflective state, because quite a few planets are retrograde. And that's a time for contemplation, for reflection, looking back on, learning what we're meant to learn from what has transpired, then moving forward, all right? Because we're going to be much more well equipped to move forward when we've gleaned the lessons from what has taken place behind us, all right? And there's that old saw about let go of the experience and claim the wisdom from it kind of a deal. We don't have to continue to allow traumas to hugely negatively impact our lives. We can ask ourselves, what am I meant to learn from that? It was a crappy situation, but what am I meant to learn from that? What am I meant to take forward and apply as I move forward? All right? You already know what to do. Even if people aren't supporting you, know that Spirit is. Know that Spirit is. And I had a wonderful talk yesterday with my friend Janice over lunch and a humongous walk, I don't know, maybe 4 miles, that the wisdom, the collective wisdom is out there for us to tap, and that there are beings that are supporting us all the way along here, trying to keep us from mucking it up. We have done a pretty good job of mucking up poor Mother Earth, and now we have support all the time, everywhere. We have support for making good choices to improve on what we're doing with Mother Earth. And I was kind of hurting the other day. I actually kept this newspaper because there's a couple of people that were on the front cover that I want to tap and see if they're willing to meet for lunch and pick their brains. But it's talking about putting solar panels on a new mill in the area and a bunch of cool stuff that really kind of leads me to believe that maybe we're starting to finally get it. Maybe we're starting to turn the Titanic of our behavior in the direction that's going to be in the highest and best good. And we each individually can do a whole lot of stuff with that. One of the things that I recently discovered, because we don't know everything, right? I recently discovered you're not supposed to throw out light bulbs. You're supposed to recycle them. And there's a place right down the road that recycles them for 50 cents a pop. Fabulous, right? Learn something new every day. So be open to that learning. Be open to that. Well, I didn't know that. Well, now I can, when we know better, we can do better, as Maya Angelou said. So that is something I want you to kind of keep your eyes and ears open for. Opportunities to learn how we can do better. All right? Other people will soon come around to your point of view. So in other words, you just keep doing your thing, right? In the meantime, assume a leadership role. And that leadership role doesn't have to be, because I'm sure some of your toes curled in your shoes or your slippers or whatever you're wearing at the moment. Good morning, Mel. That idea of being a leader scares a lot of people who may be quieter people. Not to fret, not to fret. You can lead by example. Do what you want to see other people doing. Lead by example. You don't have to be the person standing at the front of the stage. There are those who are good at that, right? But there are those who, like Gandhi said, there go my people. I am their leader. He's behind them. He's behind them, allowing them to lead the way to higher order living. To higher order living. Okay, additional meanings for this card. Trust your intuition and your gut feelings. Something I like to do that I think can be helpful, and I've had clients do this also. Take a piece of paper, write the question or concern at the top of the paper, put a line underneath it, and then talk about what you do know about that circumstance. What do you know? We get so caught up in dwelling in what we don't know. What do you know? And a question that you can ask yourself after you've done some of that part of it to provoke a deeper answer is, if I weren't afraid, what would I do? If I weren't afraid, or if I didn't think people were going to be upset or whatever, what would I do? That clears out all the stuff, the muck, the mire that gets in our way of honoring our intuition, our heart's guidance, and doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy to take that step, especially if other people don't get it. Okay? One of the examples from my life was when I chose to leave a corporation doing outpatient mental health and open my own place and have it be set up as a kinder, gentler place. One of the psychiatrists, as I left, and he was one of the psychiatrists that I really liked, said to me, "You'll be back within a year. You're never going to make, it's not going to work. You're going to fail." I could have chosen to be afraid and listen to him. I have enough bullheaded in me to not. And 16 years later, I sold that clinic to someone else. So don't trust that everybody else has the answers for you. You know you the best. You do you, okay? So yesterday, I actually sent a picture of this. Maybe I'll post it on the feed here. I was kind of hustling around to get out the door to do something, and I had to take the dog out to go to the bathroom, and I slipped on my shoes, headed for the door. They felt just fine. Good morning, Kelly. Glad you're here. And I looked down. I had on one white shoe and one blue shoe. They're the same kind of shoe, but I had one of each. And I thought, well, what the heck? I'm going to go anyway. But it was one of those circumstances where you can get a little giggle out of something, right? So you know you the best. You know what your heart is telling you is your guidance. Follow that. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't care what your family says. I don't care what your friends say. If you're feeling pulled in a particular direction, go there. Even if it doesn't work out exactly as you're thinking it ought to, it will work out the way it's supposed to, and you will learn what you're meant to learn. The only time we way slow our progress down as human beings rising up is when we get caught up in fear and don't do the things that we're being guided to do. All right? It's the only time. So now we're going to talk about Horus. So he's the ascended master, the eyeball there. Horus is the Egyptian falcon-headed sky and sun god whose parents were Osiris and Isis. He was conceived after his mother brought his father back from the dead with the help of the sun god Ra. One of Horus's eyes was injured during a battle of revenge for his father's death. This is why Horus is represented with one large, clear-seeing eye. You can call upon Horus to help with spiritual or physical sight, including insight into the truth about situations. So, your mission for today, should you choose to accept it, is I want you to still yourself. Just have a little moment of quiet. It doesn't have to be long. 3 minutes may be enough. But listen within. What am I being guided to do with regard to this? I won't be surprised if many of you right now are being guided to wait. To wait, to gather information, to review what's already led up to this, because so many planets are retrograde. But then there will be the point where it's time to move forward. And you will know that. You will know that. All right? This is about developing that faith and trust in yourself. The only one who can walk your life path is you. Is you. And really, honestly, in the words of Tosha Silver, you can't screw it up. It's your life path. You're the only one who can walk it. You can't screw it up. Whatever has come before, even the circumstances in your life that feel lamentable, that you have regrets about, let go of that regret. There's something in there for you. It has served a purpose. If you're saying, I've stayed at this crappy job for 26 years, what was I thinking? There's a reason why you stayed there. Let it go. Move on. Make your decisions now. I was in this not good marriage for however long. It's okay. The past is the past. You're done with it. Take the lessons. Leave the experiences. They can stay behind. They were merely the vehicles to bring you the lessons. All right? All the crappy stuff that happens in our life is just a vehicle to bring us the lessons. Okay? And when we start listening to our intuition more frequently, you may find that fewer and fewer crappy things happen, because the universe doesn't have to turn up the volume to get your attention. Hey, you, I'm talking to you. When we listen, when it's just that little whisper, hey, you, oftentimes those circumstances that then teach us the lesson can be milder, can be less gut-wrenching, all right? So start listening to your intuition. It is, if for no other reason than to smooth your path forward in life. That's a beautiful reason to do that, all right? So your mission for today is to take some quiet time, a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there, and just listen within. What do I notice? What am I being nudged to do? And don't be surprised if you hear crickets for a while. If you've been studiously avoiding listening to your intuition may take a little while to come forward. Keep opening the door. Keep opening the door. It is so worth it. Have an awesome day. See you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are, including listening to your intuition. Bye-bye.